Straight ahead on Wake Up Nonstop, local construction destruction. A Post Falls man arrested after going on a joyride in an excavator, tearing down a new home in the process. We've got those demo details coming up.
So your intent tonight was just because you wanted to kick a cop car because you're tired of the way that cops are treating you.
And just for kicks, a man arrested after kicking a patrol car with a sheriff's deputy inside. New video into the newsroom coming up.
Plus, I'm getting you out the door with a look at your Wednesday morning forecast. We saw some early morning rain move through the region, leaving behind a bit of a wet start.
And back to work. The end of the government shutdown on the horizon. Congress returns to the House for a vote.
It's been far too long, and it's good for the American people to get the government back open.
When that vote will happen, what it means for programs that will be back up and running straight ahead.
The season of donating and volunteering has already begun. We'll tell you how coming up.
All that plus, bye-bye birdies. Gonzaga grounds the Blue Jays.
The highlights fans are talking about this morning in a clash of the top 25s right now on Wake Up Nonstop Local.
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun. And here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. It's all about rising, and I wanna be there.
Gonzaga fans are waking up happy this morning thanks to this win against their first-ranked opponent of the year. A relentless second half helped the Bulldogs beat the Creighton Blue Jays. Final score, 90-63. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kalai Chalk.
And I'm Sam Adams. Big blowout win last night. The Zags with that 3-0 on the year. They'll hit the road now for their first game away from Spokane. They'll travel to Tempe, Arizona this Friday to take on the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Okay, we've got the highlights from last night's game in just a few minutes, but for right now, let's get a look at that forecast.
All right, highlights coming in with Jenny Power. What do you have for us?
Yeah, guys, I mean, we are off to a little bit of a wet start here on a Wednesday morning. We have been seeing some very light rain showers track across eastern Washington and North Idaho, and as we take a look at the current placement, it's moving up into Sandpoint as well as now along the Montana-Idaho border. So a bit of a wet start. It's left behind some wet roadway as we take a live look over I-90. A little bit of a gloomy gray start here with some cloudy skies, but hey, we'll lean into it, folks, as we are preparing to really lean into winter. Current temperatures in Spokane, 39 degrees. We're at 40 for Coeur d'Alene with some of that active rain still falling, although it is light currently. We're at 38 degrees at Fort Washtenaw, but 48 down on the Palouse, 41 for the folks in St. Mary's this morning, 37 up towards Sandpoint, Idaho, and that's also what Colville and Kettle Falls are clocking in at. As far as your power planner goes, we'll give way to some drier conditions and mostly cloudy skies by this afternoon before more wet weather, guys. It's on the move. The timing of our next system in 10 minutes. Guys?
Okay, Jenny, thanks. In North Idaho, a brand new home is in ruins after Post Falls police say that a homeless man used construction equipment to crash through the house and destroy it. Police say the 29-year-old man stole the excavator from a nearby construction site and then used it to demolish the home.
That house was newly built, had just been sold, but no one was living in the home at the time. 911 calls came in just after 5:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. Police arresting this man, identified as 29-year-old Fred Caderna, for driving under the influence and burglary, among other charges. Neighbors in the Montrose neighborhood saying that construction sounds are pretty normal right now, but waking up to see this was a total surprise.
We live in such a neighborhood that feels so safe and trusting. Like, you just take it for granted. You take safety, and like, you don't think that anyone's gonna, commandeer machinery and do something like this. So yeah, just really mind-blowing.
Other charges include malicious mischief to property, and investigation right now underway to determine a possible motive. Spokane City Council right now moving forward on a contract with the Department of Commerce for the Encampment Resolution Program. It would grant Spokane a little over $8 million to be distributed across several different housing projects in the city.
One of the projects would receive more than $500,000 in funds and would build a tiny home village in the West Hills. Advocates say that the 30 units will help connect people with affordable services, but people opposed to it say it would bring crime to safe neighborhoods.
This program would help residents reconnect with services, find employment, build skills, continue healing, and transition into permanent housing. It's not a temporary fix. It's a bridge to build hope, to stability, and a stronger Spokane built on compassion and connection.
I just don't see how it is you guys are going to move something like this into a neighborhood with, you know, all it's going to do is just bring crime and chaos, just like.
NonStop Local reached out to get an update on the timeline for the village. We've been told that construction could start as soon as December, pending permits. Well, today is day 43 of the government shutdown, but it could end tonight. The House will debate the short-term funding bill today.
After that debate, voting could begin as early as 1 p.m. Pacific time. The Senate passing legislation on Monday funding the government, and yesterday the House Rules Committee agreed to let it move forward without any amendments. The measure would fund the federal government through the end of January with longer terms for several programs, including SNAP.
NonStop Local talked to Congressman Michael Baumgartner about the Obamacare subsidies, which was a major sticking point for Democrats in the shutdown.
Healthcare is too expensive in America, but what the Democrats were asking, which was to prop up a broken healthcare, a broken Obamacare system with trillions and trillions more dollars of our taxpayer dollars, and not even just our taxpayer dollars, our kids and our grandchildren's funding, you know, that's not the right approach. And so we have to look at things that bring costs down, and we'll be having a conversation about that.
The Senate did agree to vote on the health care subsidies by mid-December.
There are 219 Republicans and 213 Democrats in the U.S. House. The bill needs a majority of 217 votes to pass and then head to President Trump for final approval. Look at a new video right now showing a deputy, this is with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, facing an unexpected incident during a traffic stop. This happened last Friday. The deputy was conducting a stop on North Oregon. A man unrelated to that stop walked over and started kicking the patrol car.
Officer got out, pointed his taser, and the man immediately complied. In the video, you can hear the man saying that he hates cops. He was booked into the Spokane County Jail on malicious mischief and obstructing law enforcement. Former NFL star Antonio Brown has pleaded not guilty in an attempted murder case. He made that plea in a New Jersey courtroom Tuesday on the attempted murder charge out of Florida.
Brown was extradited from Dubai to the United States Monday, accused of shooting at a man outside of an amateur boxing event in Miami. He has now waived extradition from New Jersey to Florida, where he'll now face these charges. Brown's attorney says he was attacked and acted in self-defense. 6:37 right now. There may soon be another Kennedy in Washington, D.C. Jack Schlossberg has now announced he is running for Congress.
He's the grandson of former President John F. Kennedy. He's running to replace the retiring Congressman Jerry Nadler, who represents New York's 12th Congressional District. In a video announcing his campaign, the Democrat focused on affordability and also criticized President Trump. The Department of Justice says it's looking into the protests at the University of California, Berkeley. The protest happened Monday during Turning Point USA's event. The school says that city police and university officers made several arrests.
And in a post on social media, which you're looking at right now, the Assistant Attorney General, Harmeet Dillon, calling it a horrific situation, saying the investigation will now look into UC Berkeley's, quote, history of not protecting conservative speakers on its campus. UC Berkeley says it's now conducting its own investigation and will fully cooperate with federal authorities. Well, it's that time of year again. We're going to start seeing those red kettles outside of our local grocery stores. Volunteers ringing a bell asking for donations.
And that's done through the Salvation Army, and they're looking for more volunteers and donors. So for more information, let's get to NonStop Local's Noah Bolter, who's live there this morning.
Well, Sam Clive, the first thing you notice are not the volunteer or the red kettle themselves. You might hear that bell ringing just like it is right now. This is Salvation Army's Captain David Kane. So, David, what exactly are you asking people to do?
You know, this is our iconic red kettle, and these kettles are already in front of stores. In fact, we're kicking off the campaign this week, and we need the community to be generous with these kettles. All the funds that are raised for this campaign, they stay local right here in Spokane to serve struggling families and individuals that need the Salvation Army all year long.
Okay, so you're asking people when they're walking by, they see the kettle, to donate change, but also to donate time.
That's right. We've made it easier than ever to volunteer this year. The website is registertoring.com. It's registertoring.com. You can go on, create a quick user profile, and then you pick a location and a time. You just lock in that spot, and a Salvation Army representative will meet you at that store with the bell and an apron, and we'll get you launched, and you can volunteer to ring the bell and support the Salvation Army's important work here in Spokane.
And can you go into just a little bit more detail as to when I contribute my change to this, where that money goes?
That's right. This year our theme is Your Change Makes Change. And that means that supports our foster care shelters here in Spokane for little ones, also transitional living for families exiting homelessness, and our food pantry feeds about 200 families every single day, 5 days a week, right here in Spokane. Everything we raise from these red kettles, they go to support families that are in need right here in Spokane, and so we're so grateful for the generosity of our community this Christmas.
Captain Kane, thank you so much. The season of giving is upon us. Live in Spokane, Noah Bolter, NonStop.
All right, Noah, thank you. Trending this morning, Pope Leo XIV's meeting with stars from Hollywood is coming up this weekend in hopes of deepening the dialogue with the film world. And right now the Pope is sharing 4 of his all-time favorite films.
Okay, the oldest film on the list is It's a Wonderful Life, which came out in 1946. Then the 1965 classic, Sound of Music. And the Pope also chose the 1980 movie Ordinary People, directed by Robert Redford, and also the 1997 film Life is Beautiful.
Now, the Pope's list of movies will surely be brought up when they meet, and the Vatican says that the Pope wants to deepen the dialogue with movie makers about promoting human values in the industry.
That's something we can all agree on.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. I also wonder if, like, Terminator 2 is the Pope's favorite. Like, can he say that?
It's so funny.
If that was, I'd be like, Pope, give me 5. All right, we're going to take 2. Coming up here on Wake Up NonStop Local, Moose in Mead.
Yeah, our viewer caught a mother and her calf strolling through the neighborhood. We're sharing this with you coming up.
Plus, an extended look at your weather forecast. Some of the rain showers moving on out, leaving behind some cloudy skies and wet roadway. Full breakdown for your Wednesday ahead.
This countdown to the 2026 Winter Olympics on NonStop Local KHQ, brought to you locally by Northern Quest Resort and Casino.